Hey everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Esme IRL. I also go by Esme, and today I'm gonna actually be telling you guys about popular upcoming Booktok sequels that you guys might be excited for. And if you want to see any of these recommendations, let's get right into the video. Now, if you do not know, Booktok is a very popular place, mostly specifically known for TikTok, Bookstagram, which is Instagram, and Booktube, being what you guys are on right now. But if you guys do not know, there are some very popular books that I feel like most people might know what they are called, and these are the sequels that are coming out for said books. So if you do not know, our first book that we have is Leather and Lark, which is a sequel to Butchers and Blackbirds. I still have not read that book, but I thought, I would include it for those of you who have read the book and, you're kind of interested, you want to know what it's about. So I actually have the summary right here. If you do not know, Leather and Lark is like a whole different, it's not a sequel. So it's kind of like an interconnected standalone. So you could read it by itself, or you could read Butcher and Blackbird first and then read Light Lark. But Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver is mostly specifically following around a contract killer who goes by the name of Lachlan Kane. All he wants is a quiet life working with his leather studio and forgetting all about his traumatic past, like most of us want to. But when he botches a job for his boss's biggest client, Lachlan knows he can never claw his way out of the underworld. At least, not until songbird Lark Montague offers him a deal. Use his skills to hunt down a killer, and she'll find a way to rescue his freedom. The catch? He has to marry her first. So, marriage of convenience is what I'm already getting from this. And they can't stand each other. So, enemies to lovers, rivals, because I feel like enemies to lovers only correlates, with fantasy, but I digress. So we have that they cannot stand each other. Indie songwriter Lark is a sunshine and glitter that burns throughout every cloud and clings to every crevice that Lachlan Kane tries to hide inside. The surely older brother of her best friend's soulmate. Lachlan thinks she's just a privileged princess. Oh, I get brother's best friend, maybe brother's rival, who knows? But Lark has plenty of secrets hidden in the shadows that brought her her bright light. With her formidable past in a tailspin and her best friend's happiness on the line, she's willing to make a vow to the man she's determined to hate, no matter how tempting her broody assassin claims to be. Okay, I'm already liking this so far. As Lachlan and Lark navigate the dark world that binds them together, it becomes impossible to discern their fake marriage from a real one. But it's not just familiar dangers that haunt them. There's another platform lurking on their doorstep, and this one has come out for blood. Tell me that already does not give you guys like a, oh my god, I have to read it. But since, it is a very popular book talk, we are gonna have some hit or misses, I personally haven't read Butchers and Blackbirds, so I can't really give much opinion on, am I excited for this book? Because I actually just found out about this book last week when I was doing, the research of like all of the books that I saw that was upcoming, and I wrote them down here. So I may be leaving out some, books that are upcoming. So if I mention any, or if I don't mention any book and you guys know that the upcoming date is, soon, let me know down below in the comments. But alrighty, let's go on to book number 2. Alrighty, book number 2 that we have is Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. You guys might know this author from Love Theoretically, which is honestly one of my favorite books, or you might know her from Bride/Checkmate if you've, recently been more adequate or like more caught up with those kind of books. But she's a very well-known author who mostly writes romances about like science. So I believe 3 of her main books, Love on the Brain, Love Theoretically, and Love Hypothesis, all 3 of those follow around women in the STEM field, which honestly, chef's kiss. I love books that are women are based in the STEM field. But yeah, so this book is also another book about a woman in the STEM field, but it's kind of more of like a forbidden secret affair that proves that all is fair in love and science, which, all is fair in love and war. Hello? I'm so excited to read this book already. Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood follows around Ruth Siebert. Hopefully I'm saying her name correctly. Ruth Siebert might not have it all, but she has enough. She has a few friends that she can always count on. Her financial stability that she yearned for as a kid. Honestly, girl, me too. I want the same thing. And a successful career as a biotech engineer at Clean, one of the most promising startups in her field of food science. Her world is stable, pleasant, and hard-fought until a hostile takeover and its offensively attractive frontman threatens to bring it all crumbling down. Our main male character, Eli Kilgorn, and the business partners want Clean, period. Ellie has his own reasons for pushing this deal through, and he's a man who gets what he wants. With one burning exception. Rue, the woman he cannot stop thinking about. This woman who is off limits to him. Torn between love and undeniable attraction, Rue and Eli throw caution into the lab and the bedroom windows steam coming up. Their affair is a secret, no strings attached, and has a built-in deadline, the day one of their companies will prevail. But the heart is a risky business, one that plays for keeps. Honestly, I already have this book pre-ordered, which is why I knew it was upcoming already. Also, I forgot I didn't mention when the books are releasing. Holy frick. Alrighty, so Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver is actually releasing on the 4th of June. It is currently the 25th of May, so you know, it is like, I think, 9 days away, so prepare your calendars. And then Not in Love's release date is the 11th of June 2024, which is also maybe like in like if I had to guesstimate, maybe like 10-15 days. Editor Esme, am I correct? How many days off am I? But yeah, Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood, upcoming this month. Alrighty, so our next book that we have is actually another author of mine that is my favorite. If you've read Love, what's the other book? Love Redesigned, or if you've ever read any of the Dreamland Billionaire series. So I have the books, The Fine Print, Terms and Condition, and Fine Author. If you ever read any of those books, you'll know the author that I'm talking about next. But the book that we have today is Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. So if you do not know, Love Unwritten follows around after the second brother in the Love Redesigned books. It's also an interconnected standalone. So you could read this book before Love Redesigned, but you may get Love Redesigned spoiled for you a little bit. But if you do not care about that, trek on away. But Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher, it follows around Raphael, which is like the older or younger brother of, I believe, the main character. I think his name was Mateo, if I'm correct. Tell me, Editor Esme, if I'm correct. But it follows around Raphael, who has, I believe, a son or daughter. I think it's a daughter. So it's a single dad trope ex-nanny. Ellie Sinclair is a hopeless romantic who loves love songs, which honestly, me too, bestie. I'm a struggling workaholic who could inspire 100 breakup albums. On paper, we have nothing in common except for my son. For 8 months, I avoided her until our summer trip. 14 days, 2 islands, 1 nanny I shouldn't be attracted to. Spending time with Ellie is expected. Enjoying her company? That wasn't part of our travel plans. After my divorce, I swore to protect my heart at all costs, even if it means breaking hers in the process. Ellie, what's worse than working for a grumpy single dad? Admitting that I had a secret crush on him in high school. Thankfully, Rafael Lopez and I have changed since we graduated from Wisteria High. He is a billionaire with a company to run and a child to take care of. I'm an unemployed songwriter he hired to watch his son and teach music. We coexist without any issues until a vacation changes everything. Lines blur and old feelings for Rafael return with vengeance as I face a new dilemma. Being his son's nanny is one thing, but wishing for more sounds like a heartbreak song willing to be written. Does that not summary already give you guys the hey, I want to read this book so badly already? But yeah, I'm so excited. And Love Unwritten comes out the 18th of June 2024. Now, moving on, we actually have kind of like a interconnected duet, or like 4 books that are actually debuts of this author being re-released with sprayed edges. So I decided to include this in here as well, since they're technically not sequels, but they are, being re-released. We have Ana Huang, one of my favorite authors. But if you do not know, Ana Huang had a book series before she released the Twisted series. She has the What If series, or like If series. So our first book we have is What If We Never Meet Again and If the Sun Never Sets. These 2 books are re-releasing with sprayed edges, and they're being released the 25th of June. Follow around right after, we have her If Love Has a Price, being released the 9th of July. So, a little bit later on than the first 2 books. And then lastly, the last book in that specific pair is If We Were Perfect, also being re-released with sprayed edges, coming out the 6th of August. So you already know I pre-ordered these during the Target buy 2 get 1 free sale. So you already know I have those pre-ordered. But rolling us back to July, we have, I feel like, almost everyone's favorite. I actually have the book here. We have the sequel to Powerless and the sequel to her novella Powerful. We have the sequel, otherwise known as Reckless by Lauren Roberts. So if you have not read about Powerless, let me give you guys a little bit of a spiel. Powerless follows around a character who goes by the name of Peyton. It follows around Peyton and Kai, kind of like this enemies to lovers banter that they have. And so, I can't give you guys much about the summary about Reckless, since it is a sequel to Powerless. But if you've read Powerless, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. But Powerless, just to give you guys a bit of a non-spoiler summary, It is book 2 in the series. I believe the author said it was going to be a 5 or 3 book series, not including the novellas, but it follows around what happened at the end of Powerful. And honestly, I'm so excited to read Reckless. I just finished Powerless and the novella together. I tandem read them this month. I was sobbing. That's all I'm gonna say. I was sobbing and I could not read another book for the next 3 days. But alrighty, Reckless is set to release on the 2nd of July. On the 2nd of July, so 2 days before 4th of July. If you guys ever need a reason to read a book before the 4th of July, just saying, Reckless, if you read Powerless, perfect time to buy the book. Alrighty, moving on, we have Lana Ferguson. If you guys know about this author, she is the writer of The Nanny and The Fake Maid. She is releasing a new book that goes by the name of The Game Changer. Releasing the 9th of July, we have The Game Changer. Hold on, let me pull up the summary for you guys. Alrighty, I have a summary for The Game Changer pulled up. So if you do not know, this is Lana Ferguson's kind of like sports romance. So if you guys are really into hockey specifically, stick around and hear this summary. But yeah, The Game Changer by Lana Ferguson. A hockey player and a baker shoot their shot in this steamy new romance by Lana Ferguson. When a very public breakup becomes a PR nightmare for Ian Chase's team, he hopes to focus on his game, but suddenly seems less than likely than a hat trick. With his career and his team image in jeopardy, Ian is surprised to find a solution, though none other than Delilah Barker, his best friend and teammate's little sister. So we already have brother's best friend as a trope here, who isn't so little anymore. Delilah Baker is known as the darling of bakery on her local cable show, and being in the public eye is both bread and butter. Bit of a bread pun if you catch my drift. But with her numbers dwindling and her producers turning up the heat, Delilah offers up a half-baked idea to collaborate with her brother's team to entice the hockey fans of Boston to tune into her show. What could be better than that? Let me tell you guys. Delilah thinks it's gonna be a piece of a cake until the team sends Ian Chase, her brother's best friend, and Ian's team think it's a win-win scenario, gaining higher numbers for Delilah and fixing Ian's PR image. However, the viewers are eating up them like a cupcake, another bakery pun, sparking the idea to play up with the relationship. So we have fake dating and brother's best friend already in this trope, but with more than just their careers on the line between what's real and what's for show begins to blur. But one thing is for sure, this PR stunt will either be a total game changer or leave them both entirely pucked. Another hockey pun is what I'm getting already. But yeah, that is The Game Changer by Lana Ferguson. Lana Ferguson's The Game Changer is set to release the 9th of July. So just saying, we have gotten already into July, and the other book that I have set to release in July is The AU Pair Affair by Tessa Bailey. Now, Tessa Bailey for me at least is more of a Tessa Bailey more recently, all of her books have been kind of like a hit or miss for me. So the last book that I actually read by Tessa Bailey was, okay, I have the book here. I haven't finished it. I soft DNF'd it for the moment, but I believe it's the pink cover, Unconditionally Yours. And I don't know, I've been hearing from other Booktok creators that, Tessa Bailey's most recently books have been kind of like a hit or a miss. That they're like, we never know if it's gonna be nice, it's not gonna be nice. Like, how do we know specifically if this is gonna be one of her books that she's, writing from the heart? Or is it a book that she's just writing, a trope on? Because if you do not know, Tessa Bailey was actually the creator of Fangirl Down, who a lot of people were like, wait a minute, what do you mean touch her and you die? How is a golf man gonna touch her and die? What is he gonna do? Hit me with his golf club? I actually bought that book to read. Haven't read it yet. But already, The AU Pair Affair. We have another hockey book. So if you remember the last book, Lana Ferguson's hockey book, we have The AU Pair by Tessa Bailey, her hockey book edition. So Tallulah is smart, vivacious, and studying to be a marine biologist. So we already got science in the book. She's also 26 and broke. Oh my god, kind of like me, not 26, but I am broke. So when Bergen's a battle-scarred hockey veteran and newly single dad. Okay, so we have the single dad trope. I already have 2 tropes in here. So we have single dad, science, 23 and broke. And I'm gonna guess nanny already in this. Here it is. Offers her a job as her live-in nanny. So we have single dad ex-nanny trope already. She jumps at the opportunity to get paid while living in a super fancy neighborhood and being around Lisa, his cool but introverted tween. Her tween charge isn't the only one that she could use some of the filling though. According to, well, everyone but Burgess, he needs to get back on the dating scene, and adventurous Tallulah is just the girl to show him how. But as her boundaries are slowly crossed and Burgess finds himself being pulled between his daughter, who wants her parents back together, and an insane chemistry with Tallulah, a huge rift is formed. And Tallulah does the right thing, break her own heart and walk away. Like, I love her summaries, but sometimes I feel like her books just don't make up to that. I don't know. They just don't keep up to that what I want. Like, you know, specifically, like, do you guys get what I'm trying to say? It's like I feel like her books could use a little bit more spice. But alrighty, her book is actually set to debut on the 16th of July. Moving into August. So I have books all the way up until November, but you know, we have only about, I believe, 2 books being released in August. We have Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. If you guys do not know, Apprentice to the Villain is sequel to, I believe, Assistant to the Villain, if I'm correct. It is the purple ebook. I'll put it right here. But alrighty, that is the sequel to that specific book. Can't tell you guys much about the summary because then I also haven't read the book, so I don't want to spoil it for myself. But alrighty, moving in, I feel like you guys may know who this author is. If you've read Icebreakers or Wildfire, you might know what book I'm currently talking about. But set to release on the 27th of August, so you know, close to the end of the month, we have Daydreams by Hannah Grace. So if you guys do not know, Daydreams by Hannah Grace is, I believe, the 3rd book in the series, but I think they're standalone series, so they aren't necessarily connected if I remember, but it's part of the Maple Hill series. So we have Icebreaker being number 1, hockey, we have Wildfire, campground, and Hannah Grace, I believe, is more school setting if I remember. But when procrastination lands him in a difficult class with his least favorite professor, Henry Turner knows he's gonna have to work extra hard to survive his junior year of college. And now with his new role as hockey captain, we have hockey again already, which he didn't even want at first. Let me just say that he didn't even want to be hockey captain. Henry absolutely cannot fail. Enter Hallie Jacobs, a fellow junior who finds herself befriended by Henry when he accidentally crashes her book club. Okay, wait, I might actually pre-order this book. I heard book club, and if you guys do not know, we're all into books, and so I really want to read this book now, actually. But let me continue. Hallie may not have her romantic pursuits, her favorite fictional leads, but she is an academic superstar. And when she learns that Henry's problems with her class reading materials, she offers to help. You know, like any other kind person, right? But being a private tutor isn't exactly ideal to her, you know, given studies, her job, and the novel that she is trying to write. So, you know, she's trying to be an author at the same time, but, you know, she's gonna tutor Henry for, you know, that extra moolah, which understandable, right? New experiences are the key to beating her writer's block, though, and Henry's promised to be the one to give them to her. They just need to stick to the real book. Oh, and to not fall in love. But alrighty, that was the summary for Daydream by Hannah Grace, who is set to release once again on the 27th of August. Now, moving on, we have Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. Wild Eyes is actually the 2nd book in the Rose Hill series, if I remember. It follows around after Wild Love. I believe it is another interconnected standalone series, so you can read the 2nd one. So if you do not know, interconnected standalone series are basically where you could read them out of order, but you may get yourself spoiled, so you know. But yeah, I do not have I don't actually have a summary or a picture of what Wild Eyes looks. You know, it is still brand new. The beginning of the page of it hasn't actually released yet, or the summary, but just know that it is gonna also be a single dad trope, so you know, stick tuned to that. That book is set to debut on the 3rd of September. There we go. Oh my gosh, I had to think about it first. But yeah, the 3rd of September, 2024. Moving on back to previous author I have mentioned, we have Ana Huang. If you guys do not know, The Striker, I actually have a blurb from her, but The Striker by Ana Huang, set to release on the 22nd of October, which coincidentally is 2 days before my birthday, so you know I already have this pre-ordered, and when it hits, bye-bye, you guys are not hearing from me for about those 2 days. But alrighty, it is a steamy sports romance set in Premier League, cover and details to be assigned. So I actually don't have the details yet, but all I know so far is that The Striker by Ana Huang follows around Asher, who I believe is an F1 driver. If I remember, he's either an F1 driver or he's soccer. I don't remember specifically one of the two, but falls in love with brother's rival. That's the trope that I mostly got, or that I got from Ana Huang herself through her, you know, through her Facebook group. But it's gonna be brother's rival, so that's all you guys have to know. Set to debut once again on the 27th of October. Next up, for those of you who, you know, read Lynn Painter, you know, this book might be for you guys. We have Nothing Like the Movies, set to debut on the, oh my god, I did this out of order, sorry. Set to debut on the 1st of October. Next up, we have Throne of Secrets by Carrie Manis-Sakalo, hopefully I said that correctly, set to debut on the 29th of October. Also, I believe this is a sequel book to Throne of Secrets? No. I forgot what the first book was, but Adobe, can you put what I'm trying to say right here? But I also cannot give you guys a summary to that since it is a sequel book. Now we have Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. It is the 3rd book of the Rebel Blue Ranch series. Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage follows around, I believe, the older brother. So she thrives in chaos, he prefers routine. So they're already opposites, so you know, opposites attract. The only thing that they have in common, how much they despise each other. From the author of Done and Dusted and Swift and Saddled, this highly anticipated next book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, a small town romance forces enemies to lovers and forced proximity. So if you do not know, this follows around our main character who goes by the name of Teddy Anderson. Teddy Anderson is the best friend of the guy's named Gus Ryder's older sister. Older sister or younger sister? I think it's younger sister, but it's her best friend. So, you know, they've known each other for a good while, and that hatred that they have between each other, years down. You know, it's probably like already like a decade long. But yeah, that is the third and final book series of the Rebel Blue Ranch series. So if you read the first 2 books, stick around to that book. That book is set to debut on the 5th of November. Now, our second to last book that I have is Sky Shade by Alex Astor. So if you do not know, Alex Astor is the writer of Lilac and Nightbane, which I actually have both. I'm currently reading Nightbane, you know, preparing for Sky Shade, but the author just recently released what the book is gonna look like. Here we go, what it looks like. And then we have the Barnes & Noble Secret Edition. Boom. Tell me the Barnes & Noble's edition does not look so pretty. Like, after I finished Nightbane, I heard it ends on a wicked cliffhanger. So, you know, I'm trying to stall out Nightbane as most as I can, since, you know, I am gonna have to wait a decent time. Sky Shade by Alex Astor is set to debut on the 12th of November, 2024. Also, I don't know if I ever said this, but Lost in That Suit by Skylar Sage, 5th of November. But yeah, Sky Shade by Alex Astor, set to debut on the 12th of November, which, you know, we're barely in May, so if I finish it now, I'm gonna be on a wicked cliffhanger. And you know, who wants to be on a cliffhanger when you know the sequel book is coming soon? And I feel like sometimes I may forget. But already, our last book that we have is Where the Library Hides by Isabel Ibanez. So if you do not know, this is the sequel book to I have the book, What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. But yeah, this is a sequel to that specific book. Can't give you guys a little bit of a summary about that one because, you know, I'd be spilling what the book is about. But already, that book is set to debut on the 16th of November. Alrighty, everyone, that was the last book that I have of upcoming Booktok sequels and or popular books coming back throughout this whole month. If I missed any book coming up soon, anytime soon, let me know down below in the comments. I would greatly appreciate letting other people know, you know, maybe I missed a book that you guys are very excited for. But yeah, let me know down below if I missed any books or if you're excited for any of these upcoming books coming up, just like me. But alrighty, that was my video and I hope you all enjoyed it. Bye, besties!